Greetings, everyone. You are tuning in to the Candid Hour, where we profile the lives of entrepreneurs all around the globe. I'm your host, Ndomgaise Tlajwayo. And today on Candid Nuggets, we are doing things different. We will have our guest on the show giving us business tips for the viewers at home. She is a business coach and a consultant. She is a strategist and the founder of PYR Business Solutions. And now, Tsholofelo Bokako.
Hi, I'm Tsholofelo from PYR Business Solutions. The first business nugget is mindset. Be aware of what you read and listen to, and the people that influence you, because you cannot give what you don't have. The second business nugget is separating personal finances from that of the business. Understand that your business is your boss. Treat it that way so that it can be kind to you in your returns. The third and final business nugget is knowing your why. This will come in handy once the motivation drops. It's easy as a business owner to lose motivation, to get discouraged, but understanding the reason why you started what you're doing is what will keep you going when you need the confidence to go up. I wish you all the best in your entrepreneurial journey, and I want you to keep going and never give up. Thank you.
Wow, I hope you found that very insightful. Tsholofelo, welcome.
Thank you, Ndombi, for having me on your show.
How are you?
I'm excited and I'm quite good. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely. Now, this is what I wanted to ask you. As I was going through your profiles, especially your personal profile, you spoke about being born ekasi, right? And I asked myself, I know the journeys might be different for all of us. This is what I wanted to know from you. How did you gravitate towards entrepreneurship? How did it find you from a girl, and now moving into the space? How did that come about?
Yeah, well, it took me a while to figure it out, but in school I've always enjoyed business studies. Business studies and economics were my favorite subject, and weirdly so, we didn't have like an entrepreneur at home or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I just gravitated towards my love for the subject and my love for working with people and just providing solutions. So I think that my love grew for entrepreneurship from that, because there was a lot of entrepreneurship spirit in the township. There was a lot of people starting businesses, and I've always envisioned myself owning my own business and running my own company. So I guess I wasn't aware of that then, but then I grew into it as I moved along my career path.
Awesome. Now, before we started the show, me and you were just having a conversation, and you spoke about being so discouraged after matric. You were like, I was so discouraged because my peers were going to varsity and my mother did not have money to take me to varsity. And I'll tell you why I'm bringing up this question. It's because our matriculants have just received their results. Some are going to varsity and some are not. Unfortunately, because of lack of funds and all these things that we know that are taking place in our country. So I want to know from you, what advice would you have for the matriculate that's sitting at home, that is feeling so discouraged because they don't have money, and they thinking my peers are going at it and me now, I'm just going to sit at home and probably do nothing for the whole year. What advice would you have for them?
I will use my own story to provide the advice. With me, that was the situation. I didn't have money to go forward. I was very discouraged when my friends were going to university. And however, I did not just want to sit down and do nothing, because I'm the person that's always researching and doing something and wanting to find out more information. So with my background, I already was involved in peer education activities in school, and I wanted to do that afterwards. So I went to seek for opportunities. I went to go to volunteer. At that time, there was no money that I was getting, but I was making use of my time. And that really, really helped me shape my character and developed my personality and things like that. So if you are at home and you're
Yeah.
thinking, what is it that I can do for myself? Just take a moment and breathe and just look at your strengths. What is it that you're good at? What is it that you're passionate about? And then link yourself with that, and also reach out to the people that can help you do what you love, and just do that. And everything will build itself from there on. Yeah.
All right. Would you say that entrepreneurship is something that one has to... Okay, I understand a lot of us entrepreneurs have love for what we do. But would you say that one has to then go to school and get a formal education? And I'm speaking from the point of view of you being a business coach. Would you say that one has to get the qualification in business or in entrepreneurship in order for them to have a successful business? Or should they just follow their passions and go at it?
I would say it's a combination of both. Most people, you're an intellect from school. There's a different from a person that enjoys studying and taking the education further. It's very advisable for you to get accreditation and qualification on that side. However, on my side, because I'll always make a story with me, I didn't go get qualification immediately. What I did was build on my skills, was learn more of what is it that I enjoy doing in that space. So it's a combination of two, but what's important is your passion, your why. Like, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it, and what is the outcome that you want to see from what you're doing? So with me, I had to learn a lot from just getting information here and there, from learning from the people, from going to the internet and researching, and then with the little money that I got, I saved and did courses so that I can improve my skills to be great.
Okay. No, I get it. I love what you're saying. You mentioned something about money. And even on your Candid Nuggets, you spoke about personal money and business money. And this really interests me. It did because, a lot of us entrepreneurs do not know how to differentiate between that. I had to learn, for instance, the hard way. At some point, I had a friend of mine, we were running a business and she's an accountant. And when we had to do financials, she would then say to me, you see why, when we're helping people with their financials, she would say to me, can you see why you have to differentiate between business money and personal money? So with you, I want to know, how did you create that balance? Firstly, I want to know if it was hard, and how did you manage to create that balance between your personal money and business money, and knowing the difference, and also creating those disciplines, So how did you get to that point as Tulu?
I can say I was a bit at an advantage because I worked as a consultant. I worked for a company as a business consultant, so we were teaching a lot of entrepreneurs on that topic specifically. And however, I had to implement it in my own business. It wasn't easy because when you run your own business, it can be easy for you to just take this money and pay for grocery things or something that just came from nowhere. So what helped me was putting those processes in place, which I had already was familiar with. I just needed to be disciplined and understand that my business is actually my boss. I am the employee and my business is the boss. So I need to make sure that that is covered before anything else. And even if I take from the business, I need to make sure that I pay that back, so that I can be able to understand where I'm going. Because when you don't have clarity in your business, you'll get stuck. But once you know exactly where is it that you're going and what is it that you want, it becomes easier to put those processes in place.
Lovely. We spoke, and I'll reflect a lot on the conversations we had off camera, because I think those were the best for me. So I'm going to bring that person that was online now. I want to know, when you told me that when you started in corporate SA, for instance, you started in corporate SA, and I think you were there for 10 years, and in the NGO space, and you started off and you grew in the business. And I said to you, how did you then know? Firstly, when did you quit, and how did you know it was now time for you to quit and actually start your own thing?
I was was feeling discouraged. Not that I didn't like my job anymore,
Yeah.
but I felt like there was something else I could offer. I also wanted the freedom to stick to my own ideas, because when you work for somebody else, they kind of navigate what you do and how you do it.
That's very true.
So I wanted that freedom to come up with my concept and actually execute what I thought was going to work, and needed to really increase the revenues and salary that I wanted to earn.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't blame my employee for saying, I don't think you're paying me my worth. Because me understanding my worth made me realize that, you know what, I can be able to pay myself what I want. And that's exactly what drove me. The freedom to do what I wanted to do at the time that I wanted to do it, and the ability to get the economic freedom again, to be able to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. And I knew that to do that, I'm going to have to trust my gut and go with what my spirit wanted at that time. And that was for me to let it all go and start to do things the way I wanted to do them.
I love what you're saying. Funny, I was reading an article that spoke about that says the benefits of being an entrepreneur is that you get the opportunity to own your time. And you kept on mentioning that. And for me, I think that's very important as just a general human being.
Yes.
You know, it's very important. Now, ever since you've started, I'm sure there are challenges. You know, you left your 9 to 5. You were guaranteed a salary at the end of the month. And regardless of whether you performed or not, you knew
I was going to get it.
Yeah, you were going to get it. So what is the challenge now? I'm not going to ask you if you regret. I don't like asking such questions, but I just want to know from you, how has it been? How has the journey been? How's it treating you?
The transition was definitely, it came at a very challenging year, because I decided to quit my job in 2020, the year that changed everything.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that was just before the pandemic. So when I decided to go fully, I had already, remember I started my business in 2012.
Okay.
And I was running it as a side hustle.
Yeah.
So while I was gaining the experience and the skills, I was building my systems behind the
Lovely.
scenes. So it became a challenge in sense of just how I wanted to structure it, because I had so many ideas. I wanted to do so many things and help so many people. But what I learned was that for me to be able to give my full self and to give the clients the results that they need, I needed to be specific in what I wanted to do. So I had to make sure that I understand who I'm talking to, number one, and just the outcome of what I wanted the results to be. That's why most of my clients are actually people that are transitioning from full-time job to entrepreneurship.
Lovely.
Because I've worked that journey,
Yeah.
and I understand what is required. So the challenges was definitely finding my niche and settling and being comfortable with what I'm offering, because I wanted to do so many things. I wanted to do so many things that were taking me in different directions.
All right. I like this. And you started the business during the pandemic. And
As full-time.
Full-time.
Yeah, without salary, without resources. Remember, I came from a consulting background, and the company was very successful. They had branches internationally and things like that. So once you transition to become a business owner on yourself, you lose those resources that were coming. You have to build your own networks, and then you have to wear those different hats, be the CEO, be the marketing guy, be the salesperson, be the HR. And those were the challenges. But then I loved it, because this pandemic actually helped me realize that I'm a power force.
You are. You definitely are.
It made me realize that I've got so much potential, and I did the right thing by following my gut.
Wow.
I was afraid in the beginning, because you will lose support from the family that wants you to stay where they felt that you were comfortable. But then on your own is that fear of saying, but how are you going to get the money? How are you going to pay the bills? You have a son that attends school. How are you going to pay the bills? And I decided to just shut that voice down and increase the volume of the one that says, you got this.
I love this. And I feel what you just said is so genuine. And because when you take the journey of entrepreneurship, you'll always have naysayers.
Yes.
You'll always have people that do not understand what it is you're doing or trying to build. And what they will do is then try to say, no, find another job, and it's mostly family.
Yes.
I understand that they come from a good place.
Yes.
We have to agree on that one.
Yes.
However, how is it now? How are they treating you now? Now that you've actually started, how are you teaching them? Because even by your actions, you teach them.
Yes.
So how has the transition been, when it comes to family dynamics?
Yeah.
How has that affected you?
Fortunately, my mom, very supportive. My mother understood. Well, she never got it because I had built a room outside, but for different intentions. And then things changed, and I literally had to use that as an office. And at first, she couldn't understand, to say, an office? Like how? Why are you doing an office? How are you going to
Yes.
do it? But then her seeing me wake up in the morning, getting dressed, taking my handbag and going to that room, and really doing the work, and she would come in there and then she would be like, what, do you need something? Can I get you something? Because she could see that I was really, really into it. And it made me so comfortable because she was very, very supportive. Not everybody in the family was supportive. There were little comments here and there that would hit you when you're alone.
Yes.
But then, like I say, I always listen to my inner voice because it never leads me astray.
Yeah.
So I choose to listen. I turn up the volume. I check in. That's why I have a session called check-in session. I check in with myself once I feel like my emotions are the energy is not right.
Yeah.
So I just had to switch back and look at my mom. She fought for us, me and my little sister. She's a single parent, and she had to do what she had to do. So that spirit of saying, continue, do what you have to do. I see where you're going. Every day should be like, you know what? I see where you're going, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So that for me was what kept me going.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. And okay, post the pandemic, we spoke about vision boards when we started.
Yeah.
And I want to know, post the pandemic, where do you see yourself? Where do you see your business? Where do you see Pono ya Rona Business Solutions?
Pono ya Rona, as I named our vision. So basically, I'm big on vision. The reason why I wanted to do this, I believe that I'm in a good position to make an impact and change people's lives. So what I see for my business is actually taking over Africa as a continent.
Lovely.
I am very passionate about Africanism.
Lovely.
I love Black people, and I feel like we're the best. We are the best people, and for a long time we were not allowed to express our creativity and ourselves. So the plan for the company is to definitely take over Africa as a continent. I want to have my footprint in Tanzania, everywhere. I want to connect with entrepreneurs from Africa and everywhere else because there's so much potential, and I believe that the youth, because Africa, the majority of us are young people.
Yes.
And even though we are ruled by the older generation, but I believe that things will change once we come together, once we connect, once we have the vision to make Africa what it should be, what it was meant to be initially. And so that's the vision. The vision is to take over Africa. The vision is to connect with other entrepreneurs and to bring in solutions for small companies, solutions to own our own resources and own our own information and tell our own stories.
Well, what can we say? African minds are beautiful minds. I love that. Okay. What's your take on legacy? When you speak of legacy, what do you think of? What would you like your legacy to be when you leave this earth?
I would answer that to say, when I think legacy, I'm thinking generational wealth. I want to build generational wealth. I'll be the first in my family to break that cycle of, I don't want to say cycle of poverty, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to leave a legacy in a sense that my son doesn't have to buy me food when I'm older, that he doesn't have to build my world kitchen and things like that.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that I leave a legacy and it's something that my family, the ones that come after me, don't have to struggle like I did. Ne? That's the first one. The second one is just to make sure that I make an impact. What I want to do every morning when I wake up is to make a person feel better about themselves.
Lovely.
Better about their position in life, better about the purpose that they should be doing. And that's what I want. I want to be remembered for that. To say, oh, I had a conversation with Chulu and something in me changed. You know, she made an impact. I changed my life because of what she said to me, or I did something different because of how I saw her do her things. So for me, legacy is generational wealth. Legacy is breaking the cycle of poverty. Legacy is self-awareness.
Lovely. And on the values, I like speaking about people's values because, you know, our values differ
Yes.
as people. So what are your values as a business, as Pono ya Rona Business Solutions? What values govern the business? If I step into your office, what energy am I gonna feel?
Yeah.
From the business?
I love that. Definitely, I'm all about positive vibes. I don't know if we can have name that as a value.
It's a value. It's a value.
So I'm big on integrity.
Yeah.
I'm big on integrity. In the business world, you can find yourself spiraling the other way around because of the love of money, the love of opportunities. So I always make sure that I ground myself in understanding that my why.
Yeah.
My why will always brings me back to why I'm doing it. So one of my biggest values is integrity and just I'm grounded in spirituality. So every morning I have a routine that I do on a daily basis just to stay grounded. You know how it's easy for you to wake up in the morning and be on your phone and that could actually dictate how your day comes out. So the external controls the internal. So I make sure that I get centered and I operate from the inside out. So that makes it easier. That makes it easier for me to navigate through my day.
Yeah.
So I choose affirmation as one of my biggest values after integrity and obviously professionalism.
Okay, I love that. And your values, by the way, are not too far off from your business values. I read them.
Oh, yes.
I read them. One of the things that developed an interest in me to do an interview with you was because you told me that you are beginning new programs in March or you are opening in March for business coaching and stuff like that. So I wanted to profile you mainly because of that. Tell us about what's happening in March.
Okay, I've decided to relaunch, have a new look because I have an old logo. Like I said, my business, I've been operating it from 2012 as a side hustle.
Yeah.
But now that I'm full-time, I wanted, and I've grown from where I was when I started to where I am right now. So I wanted to rebrand, have a new look, add a few programs from my coaching program. So I've got what I call a strategy, a build your strategy program.
Lovely.
It's a 90 days, 3 months program that I work with entrepreneurs on how to build their strategies for their business. So what I've realized is that a lot of entrepreneurs have, similar challenges. One would be access to customers, another one marketing, and just having the right staff member for your team. So most of the people struggle with putting that strategy in place to say, okay, what is my overall vision as a business? Where do I see myself? And how do I get there? So the coaching objective is to make sure that we work together in a sense that we help you understand where you are currently as a business and where you want to go. And then we bridge that gap together to say, okay, this is where you are, this is where you want to go. And then to get there, this is how you're going to do it. So we take you step by step from identifying your vision and mission statement and being clear about that and understanding your SWOT analysis, understanding your your strengths and your threats and your opportunities, and from that report we build a strategy on how to get to your end result, and then we hold you accountable on a month-on-month basis on how you're going, how you do it. So this is the value of my company. Not only am I giving you the coaching element of it, but there's a consulting element of it that helps you strategize, because most of the coaches would let you come up with your own, reach your own conclusion.
Yes.
But then sometimes I've learned that entrepreneurs also need that extra support of where do I get the resources from?
Yes.
How do I get this information? So that becomes part of the support program. Yeah. So the end result is just getting clarity on your business and understanding your goal, and just the fun part of reaching your goals and making sure that, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to get this far, but then you've helped me identify 1, 2, 3 about my business. So that's the value.
Wow, I love this. I am beaming inside. I'm like, oh my God. I am beaming. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I'll tell you why I'm excited about this. I'm excited because, like you said, not a lot of business coaches hold the hands of entrepreneurs till execution.
Yes.
So the fact that you're doing that is a value add to your business. Keep it up.
Thank you.
am smiling all the way. And I'm cheerleading for you.
Thank
Definitely
you so much.
cheerleading for you. Your closing comments to the entrepreneur sitting at home who's feeling discouraged, and some are not feeling discouraged, but they just want to hear from you.
Yeah.
And to the ones that have not started on the journey, but they want to feel inspired to start the journey. What would you say to them?
I'd firstly say, once you think about it, and you think about it more than one time, do it. Because that's something speaking to you right there. Sometimes we ignore our inner voice because of fear and all other things.
Yes.
But then once you think about it and you think about it again and it comes up again, that's something that you definitely need to do. And just trust your gut and do it. But most importantly, understand yourself and know who you are.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get distracted if you're not clear about what you're doing in your life. So I would advise the people at home, the entrepreneurs at home, to say, don't be afraid, switch off the noise from outside, but most importantly, you are the only one that can validate yourself. There's no external validation that can take you anywhere else. Only you can validate yourself, and only you can take you as far as you can go.
Wow, and where can people find you?
Oh, people can find me on social media. I have a PYR business page on Facebook. I actually love people to come there because that's where my community is. And they can also get me on info@businessandcoaching.co.za. We are definitely launching our website soon. And I don't know if I should say it now because it's not live yet.
Okay, don't say it now.
Okay, so you can find me on WhatsApp 067-228-3509 or send me a personal email at tsolo@businessandcoaching.co.za.
Thank you so much. I am it was truly a blessing to have someone like you. It was like you were coaching me. I'm feeling coached up in here. Thank you so much to the viewers at home. I hope you learned a lot today. I'm your host, Ndomgaise Hlajayo. You can find me on Facebook as Ndomgaise Faith Hlajayo, and on IG, you can find me as Ndombi Faith. Also remember, you can drop me an email on ndombi@gmail.com. That's NTOMBEE@gmail.com. Remember to be kind. It costs you nothing. I love you and stay blessed.